Is this the end of the line for the CD? Are we seeing the last of physical media as we know it? How can we change the outcome? Let's get to it. This story isn't just about the CD, it's about Blu-ray and 4K as well. They're all under the same pressure. More and more people are choosing streaming, and who can blame them? We're all living in a fast-paced world. We want our music here and now. Convenience is king. Too often we surrender quality for convenience. That's a problem. You'll remember a few videos back when I said CDs need a collectability factor, right? I feel each disc is a piece of the artist's soul that you can hold, a cherished relic that music enthusiasts would fight to preserve. With the right presentation, it could make us fall back in love with physical media. But here's the thing. Remember baseball, sports cards, Pogs, Beanie Babies, Pez dispensers, Pokemon, even now Funko Pops. Trends have their time and then they fade away. Music is different though. It's always changing and evolving. But CDs, they have remained frozen in time, trapped in their time capsule from 1982. We've got high-res streaming now. Why not high-res CDs? The SACD was a promising venture, but it bloomed during a season of change. They came around at the same time as music downloads. It was new, it was exciting, it was convenient. Everything else grew though. DVDs turned into Blu-rays, then 4K. CDs? I feel like they got left behind. Why? It's simple. Money. Streaming showed the music industry that physical media was old news. Vinyl did make a comeback thanks to the hipsters.
Smith.
But even this resurrection pales in comparison to the golden years of the 70s and 80s. Yes, the CD saw a sliver of sunshine last year, a small spark that ignited hope in our hearts. As fans, though, we're worried. We don't want CDs to go extinct, but what can we do? There are only a few companies making CD players anymore. The used market seems more vibrant than the new one, which hardly inspires confidence in manufacturers to keep producing these players. We need to shake things up if we want to keep CDs alive, but there's not much incentive for artists to help us out. Cars and trucks aren't made with CD players anymore. The CD stereo systems, they're rare. How can we breathe life into a format that's been relegated to the shadows of nostalgia, considered a memory by the larger consumer base? Are we just desperately clinging to a ghost of the past? If we want to save it, we're the ones who must fight for it. I, for one, won't allow the harmony of our beloved CDs to fade into silence. So I've been racking my brain to come up with a few strategies I feel could be beneficial for all parties involved. The one I feel would be doable, tough, but doable, is introducing a fresh new format. Let's just, for the sake of argument, let's call it the Ultra CD. First things first, the music industry would need to define a new specification for a high-res CD. This specification would have to consider things like the maximum bitrate and sample rate the new CD can support. As you may already know, traditional CDs support a bit depth of 16 bits and a sample rate of 44.1 kilohertz, which is much less than what is typically considered high-res, which is, around 24 bits and 96 kilohertz or higher. The new specification would also need to be compatible with the majority of audio equipment in consumers' homes. Developing the Ultra CD would require creating a new type of laser that can read the higher density data on the CD, as well as modifying the manufacturing process to embed that data. Depending on how much higher the bitrate and sample rate are, the new CDs might also need to be larger or have more storage space to accommodate larger music files. Once the necessary technology is in place, music companies would face the task of updating their catalogs. This would entail a meticulous process of remastering existing music to exploit the higher bitrate and sample rate that the new format offers. Particularly for many classic tracks, this might prove challenging given the quality and availability of original recordings. Given that existing CD players wouldn't have the capability to read these new high-resolution CDs, the responsibility would fall on manufacturers to innovate and develop compatible players. In an ideal world, these new devices would retain backwards compatibility, allowing us to enjoy our Redbook CDs alongside the new format. That said, this might present the most overwhelming challenge yet. Many audio companies might be potentially hesitant due to financial constraints. They would have to risk investing in a completely new format whose success isn't guaranteed. The music industry would face the task of launching a comprehensive marketing and education campaign, one designed to educate consumers about the capabilities of high-res audio and the groundbreaking tech of Ultra CDs, right? Easy enough. But consider the challenge, convincing
millions
of streaming fanatics to embrace an entirely new physical format, some of whom, particularly those born after the year 2000, might have never owned a piece of physical media in their lives. It might seem like I am being a bit presumptuous, but after speaking with numerous young people, you'd be surprised at how frequently this holds true. As much as I love my wonderful idea of the Ultra CD, I know this may not be very realistic. We can dream though. Now, if a year or two down the road you hear about the Ultra CD and I am not a part of the project, at least you know where you heard it first, right? Okay, let's be more realistic in the meantime. We can design unique, attractive, and limited edition CD packages that will appeal to collectors and fans. This could include special artwork, exclusive bonus tracks, lyric books, posters, or any other memorabilia that would entice fans to purchase the physical CD. We could also organize CD fairs or music swap events, giving a platform for enthusiasts to buy, sell, or exchange CDs. This could help build a community around the CD, which may encourage newcomers to start their own collections. Picture something along the lines of like a Comic-Con, right? But for music, featuring industry professionals and recording artists autographing CDs and memorabilia. I, for one, would be the first in line for tickets. Like, I love this stuff. So let's also extend the stage to independent artists, right? Sparking collaborations with local talent for CD cover art or music video brainstorming. Throw in local cuisine and DJs to set the ambiance. And, you know, we're really onto something here. The possibilities are really limitless. A celebration of music, culture, and above all, the CD. Now, partnering with like car manufacturers and audio system manufacturers to include CD players yet again as a standard, that could point us in the right direction. You know, right now, CD players are out of sight, out of mind. If they were everywhere once again, it could motivate people to revisit the format. Now, of course, strategies like these would require buy-in from multiple stakeholders like artists, music companies, hardware manufacturers, and retailers. But with the right push and the right pitch, it's conceivable that the compact disc format could enjoy a real revival. If you guys have any ideas or strategies we can add on to this, I would love to hear from you in the comments below. Do I think the CD will die out anytime soon? Probably not. Do I think the Redbook CD, Blu-ray, and 4K disc are the last of their kind, the final frontier of physical media? I think so, which is sad. I do hope we see the Ultra CD someday. You never know. Crazier things have happened. Thank you all for joining me today. I love talking CDs. I actually sat down the other day with a buddy of mine and chatted it up, Alex from his podcast, CD Collectors Podcast, which is out now. I'll attach the link below so you could check out our conversation. It was really a lot of fun. If you want to support the channel, I have a Patreon and I have the biggest HiFi t-shirt shop online where you could buy stuff like this. Your support is greatly appreciated and allows me to continue on innovating, and who knows, maybe I'll manufacture the Ultra CD myself. If you enjoyed the video, take a shot of whiskey with the like button.
There's a fella that can't hold his liquor.
Subscribe to the channel and ring the bell to get notified every time a new video is born. With all that said and done, folks, I will see you on the next one. Take care.